From tablets to AI tutors, technology is totally reshaping our classrooms. It's promising this incredible future of personalized, engaging, and just limitless learning. But it also brings up this huge question that, let's be honest, everyone is asking. In this new world of digital everything, what happens to the teacher? Yeah, that's the big one, isn't it? Is the human educator about to become obsolete? In this explainer, we're going to break down this whole debate. We'll look at the incredible promise of educational tech, some of its hidden dangers, and what the future of teaching is really starting to look like. So, on one side, you've got the classic classroom, right? A teacher at a blackboard. That's been a pillar of our communities for generations. And on the other, you see this vision of the future, totally interconnected, digital, and driven by data. That journey from one to the other is exactly what we're here to explore. All right, so let's start by making the case for technology. What makes it so powerful that some people actually think it could one day take over one of the most important jobs in the world? This right here is the allure of educational technology, or EdTech, as you've probably heard it called. It's this promise of a dynamic, interactive world that could, in theory, unlock every single student's potential. So how should we be thinking about it? Well, before we get too carried away, let's get a little perspective from someone who knows a thing or two about tech. Bill Gates really frames it perfectly here. Technology is just a tool. It's not the main event. The real magic, that still comes from the teacher who's using it. Okay, take language learning, for instance. Technology completely transforms it. Suddenly, it's fun with games and interactive media. It connects students with actual native speakers on the other side of the planet through video calls. And maybe most importantly, it creates this safe, judgment-free zone where students can practice at their own pace without being afraid of making a mistake. It is an absolute game changer. And the change here is just massive. We're moving so far beyond dusty old textbooks. With tech, teachers can pull in articles, videos, podcasts that are totally up to the minute. Lessons get flexible, they can be tailored to what students are actually interested in, and learning isn't just confined to school hours anymore. It's a library, it's a language lab, it's a portal to the whole world, all on one device. But of course, it's not all sunshine and perfect test scores. For every single advantage, there is a potential downside. So we have to look at the other side of the coin, the perils of the digital classroom. This cartoon is a pretty funny take on the whole generational gap, but it actually hints at a really serious problem. When students start to see technology as the only source of truth, what happens to critical thinking? What happens when the tech just isn't the right tool for the job? And the concerns are really serious. Experts warn that all this constant digital stimulation can actually shorten attention spans. Easy access to info can lead to this "why bother learning it" kind of attitude, which creates terrible study habits. And with the entire internet right there at their fingertips, teaching students how to tell good information from bad has become one of the biggest challenges in all of education. This culture of instant gratification, it's one of the biggest hurdles. Think about it. When every answer is just one click away, how do you teach perseverance? How do you teach a kid to actually wrestle with a difficult problem when they're used to getting a quick fix for absolutely everything? It fundamentally changes how they approach frustration and learning itself. And sometimes technology is just wrong. This is a pretty lighthearted example, but it makes such a vital point. These automated systems, they lack context, they lack nuance, they lack true understanding. Sure, they can translate the words, but they can't always translate the meaning, which is a perfect metaphor for the limits of machine intelligence in a classroom. So, this brings us right back to the central conflict. With all these pros and all these cons, where do we land on the ultimate question? Is this really a final showdown between human teachers and their silicon replacements? Leave it to Steve Jobs to put it so beautifully. You see, the focus is all wrong. The conversation shouldn't be about how powerful the technology is, but about the incredible potential of the people who are using it. A tool is only as good as the person holding it. And this, right here, gets to the heart of the difference. Computers are fantastic at routine, predictable tasks. Grading multiple choice tests, drilling vocabulary words. But humans? We operate in the world of nuance, inspiration, and mentorship. A computer can tell you if an answer is right or wrong. A great teacher can understand why a student got it wrong and inspire them to find the right path. They teach the things that the real world actually values. And here it is, the verdict.
This might be the most insightful take on the entire debate. Technology won't replace teachers. But teachers who embrace technology as a powerful tool to make their lessons better will absolutely replace those who don't. See, it's not about replacement. It's about evolution.
So what does this evolution actually look like? What's the new role for the teacher in this tech-filled classroom of tomorrow? Well, the modern teacher is this incredible, multi-talented force. They have to be willing to experiment like a mad scientist, just figuring out which new tool actually works. But their core roles as a mentor, an inspirer, a role model, those don't disappear. If anything, they become even more important. They provide the wisdom and the human connection that technology simply can't.
I love this metaphor from the educator Sugata Mitra. The teacher is no longer just the master at the front, the sole dispenser of all knowledge. Instead, they become a guide, a facilitator, this helpful friend at the back, who helps students navigate that vast ocean of information that technology has opened up for them.
And this whole new approach, it has a name: blended learning. It's a sweet spot. It literally takes the best of both worlds, the irreplaceable guidance of a real human teacher combined with the power and personalization of technology. This is what most people see as the model for the future.
This quote just perfectly summarizes our whole journey today. Technology can provide the bricks and mortar, all the shiny new tools to build a modern education. But it's the teachers, the human connections, the mentors. They are the fundamental pillars holding the entire thing up. And without them, it all comes tumbling down.
So, let's end with this thought. We live in an age of basically infinite information, all of it accessible with the touch of a button. But information isn't wisdom, it isn't passion, and it definitely isn't inspiration. And maybe, just maybe, in the end, that's the one thing a machine can never, ever replace.